What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GmiasWorldPodcast, and we're going to be talking about the Eagles and the Falcons in the NFL opener for 2018. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of you guys are like, yo, Gmia, you too hard on NICK Foles. You know what I'm saying? He's a decent quarterback, stuff like that. I understand that he did a lot for the Eagles last year. But please don't forget that Carson Wentz was supposed to be the MVP until he tore his MCL and his LCL. A lot of people like to run their mouth. And like I said, it's not about anything else other than the fact that we know that NICK Foles is what NICK Foles was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he was, but we're not going to get into that. We're going to talk about some other things. The offensive coordinator for the Falcons, right? This dude can't score in the red zone. Like, this is what I don't understand. If you run the ball, Devontae Freeman, the first quarter, right? He's running the ball, it's pretty good. Then he starts passing the ball at the goal line. I don't know why people do that in the NFL. It's similar to the way that the Seahawks like threw a slant when you got Marshawn Lynch in the backfield and then you just change history for Malcolm Butler and the Patriots. Like, what exactly are these idiot coordinators? Okay, so many things I want to touch on. First of all, like I said, I knew the Eagles would probably pull it out despite NICK Foles. But the reasoning behind why I thought that was because their defense is really, really good. That boy Mills is going to be a problem. I think he's a very underrated corner. Like, you don't hear his name that much. I wouldn't put him up there with, like, you know, Jalen Ramsey or Marshawn Lattimore, in my opinion. But he's a pretty good corner. Okay, you know, it's a lot of other people like who was Ricardo Allen locking up Darren Sproles on that, you know, that play with the out route. There were a lot of different key plays. But the one thing that I'll tell you is this, right? Julio Jones is a real man. Like, that dude is I don't know exactly why they wouldn't even try to throw one fade. But then at the end of the game, it's the same situation that happened last year. Like, it seems like they're putting Julio in a very precarious situation because he's always that dude that is going to get blamed for it if it doesn't work out right. But then it's not the right time to do what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are they doing it in that fashion? When you're in the red zone, everybody understands it's the hardest place to score. But it just feels like the Falcons have no idea what they're doing. And they're so offensively powered, bro. And meanwhile, their defense only gives up 18 points. You see, it's very, very difficult for me to blame the Falcons defense when you give up 18 points to a team that just took down the Patriots in the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different problems with this that I just don't. It was a very, very intriguing game, and I think a lot of us, you know, with the delay and all that stuff that was happening because of the lightning, we were so anxious for football that we're trying, you know, people are going to make excuses about, you know, oh, maybe they weren't ready. I don't think it was that. What I think is that, you know, the Eagles are strong enough. You know, Bennett being on that D-line now with Fletcher Cox, like, that team is good. That's a good defensive team. And when Carson Wentz comes back, that's going to be a very, very difficult team to beat. And I don't think people understand the value of Carson Wentz. Even if, like, you know, he had some bad games like 2 years ago, right? But then last year when he was in the running for the MVP, we got to see that they changed up a lot of things with him and he was able to play, you know, like a prototypical quarterback. But not only that, look at the reason that he got hurt. You see what I'm saying, bro? Like, the dude tried to dive into the end zone when there was nothing there. And then, you know, things happen in football, but he's going to make things happen that NICK Foles can't do. Like, okay, NICK Foles can do a play where he's catching passes, but you know, NICK Foles is a guy that's going to look at a guy that's open and throw to the other guy. You know what I'm saying? Or he's just going to throw the ball over his head. A lot of his passes were very, very high. If you look at the way that he was throwing the ball, it was wide open, like, you know, like a fly route. The halfback is on the fly outside. He's going to, you know, just floating out through the side. And he's throwing it extremely high, even to the wide receivers. Like, bro, I don't know what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to break down what I saw and what I think we're going to see going forward. The Falcons in the South, like, look, NFC South, bro, like, I like the Panthers. Okay, I really, really like the Panthers. And let me explain to you why I like the Panthers in the South over, like, the Saints. Well, the Saints are probably, you know what? The Saints will probably ultimately win everything. But I think that Cam Newton is going to play with a different type of energy over that Kelvin Benjamin thing. Because remember, Kelvin Benjamin went into training camp like a year ago looking like Queen Latifah when she was obese. And then he tries, you know, he talks trash about Cam Newton, said that Cam Newton held him back, whatever. That's all good, right? We're not going to worry about that. But I think that that's going to influence Cam's play. I think that the Panthers are going to be pretty decent. I don't think the Falcons, what I'm trying to say is I like the Saints and the Panthers over the Falcons in the South. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I just don't see how, even with Julio Jones, how they're going to be able to do enough to come out of that division, because Drew Brees, man, like, the one thing you got to give Drew Brees, he's deadly accurate. He might be, he might have lost a little bit of arm strength, things like that, but he's deadly accurate, and I really like what Drew Brees is able to bring to the table, even at his age right now. Like I said, he can't really get the ball down the field, which is one of the reasons I think they got rid of Brandon Cooks, because Cooks was so fast, and it's like Drew Brees can't really get it down there, but he will dot you up. So with that offense and that defense, and then you look at Cam, McCaffrey, I think he'll be coming into his own this year in the backfield. They got the rookie wide receiver. Their defense should be a little decent. You know what I'm saying? You still got Kuechly out there. I don't know where I think I put the Falcons. They got to be third. I got to evaluate it. Maybe I'm, because I'm so disgusted with the way that they just can't do anything in the red zone. Maybe it was the pressure. I don't know. The Eagles getting their championship banner, all the stuff going on that maybe got to them. But all in all, I don't know exactly what's going to happen in that red zone, because it's the same thing from last year. If you can't score in the red zone, you're not going to win these games. And that's why, again, you have to give the Eagles defense a lot of credit, because the Atlanta offense is overpowered, bro. They are overpowered, and somehow, some way, they're still able to get stopped in the red zone, bro. Like, let's just put it like this, right? If they continue to do what they're doing, we can just say that they're not going back to the playoffs, this year. Do I think that they're going to get some wins, and be formidable in the league? Yes. But as far as the South is concerned, I don't think that they're coming out of the South. That's just my opinion about that situation. All right. Now, we're going to jump over to the NFC East with the Eagles. And I've been trying to tell people, let me just say it again, right? The Dallas Cowboys, they're a sleeper team, but they didn't pick up Earl Thomas, which I don't know, why they waited so long. And then allegedly, they wanted a second-round pick for him, Seattle. And then by the time that the Dallas Cowboys decided to give them the second-round pick, they were like, no. Seattle was like, no, we don't want to do it no more. We want more. So I don't know where that's headed as far as the Dallas Cowboys defense is. But a lot of you guys that think that Sean Lee is like God, like Skip Bayless, they're gonna be in for a lot of things that's gonna be going on, because number one, Zeke Elliott he's a monster out there on the field, but we got to see what Dak Prescott can do. And what I think defenses are going to do to the Dallas Cowboys is just put 8 in the box. You see what I'm saying? Like, because I don't really think Dak at this point can really beat you. I think they're going to be going after Ezekiel Elliott. Like, they're going to have to really, like, he's not an Aaron Rodgers or anything like that to where he's just going to make it happen. He's no Tom Brady. He's good. If they know Dak Prescott is passing the ball, they're just going to blanket the receivers. They don't really have anybody. And as bad as Des Bryant was, I don't really see anybody on the team that's better than him. So I do believe that it was a good decision to get rid of Des, because obviously he wasn't really doing anything. He lost a step. He looked injured most of the year. But you got to put somebody in there that can do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, other than the run game, and then you see the way their O-line is, and we don't know what's going to happen with Travis Frederick with the autoimmune disease. Hopefully everything works out well with him. The Dallas Cowboys are not looking too good. The Washington Redskins, Adrian Peterson, man, like, he kind of scares me. Adrian Peterson scares me simply for the fact that, like, you don't know what's going to happen. Like, if he starts breaking big runs and the Redskins defense is somehow, some way able to make plays, the Redskins can be in a lot of games this year. Am I excited about Alex Smith? Probably not, because I don't really expect much from him, because I think he had a lot with the Chiefs and he still wasn't able to do max potential there. So which offense do I think is better? The Chiefs. I think the Chiefs offense was way better. Tyreek Hill alone takes the top off of the defense, and Alex Smith wasn't really able to do anything. So I don't really trust the Redskins. Now, the Giants with Saquon Barkley. The one thing I'll tell you is this. Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls against the greatest quarterback, in my opinion, in NFL history, right? So he's either the luckiest person or he sold the soul to the devil. Either way that it works out, we're going to find out this season, because I believe that Saquon Barkley is going to be a really good running back in this league. So what's going to happen is this, right? If they're able to change up and OBJ can come out there, but remember, they're playing the Jaguars for their first game, and Jalen Ramsey is the #1 corner in the league. I don't think that he's going to shadow OBJ, but I think that he may be matched up on him a couple times during the game. Who do I think will get the benefit of this game? It's more than likely going to be the Jaguars defense overall, but let's just focus right now on the Giants in the NFC and why I think the Eagles are going to probably come out again and repeat. Eli Manning, when it comes down to it, if he can't hit OBJ on a slant, he's probably going to throw a pick. I'm just being realistic about the situation. He's a guy that he can come out in rare form. Like, I don't know if you guys, let's go back to when they lost to the Green Bay Packers when OBJ took everybody on the boat in Florida, right? You remember that game? OBJ dropped wide open passes and stuff like that. Everybody was dropping wide open passes. It was really, really disgusting, right? But Eli Manning was on the money. If we can get that Eli Manning to play like that, the Giants may be a team that gives the Eagles a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that the Dallas Cowboys and the Redskins, I don't really find them formidable in that conference. Okay, so that's why I think that the Eagles may come out. The Giants is the only team that I see a lot of potential with. They got Nick Solder. They got a better offensive line for Eli. Saquon Barkley's going to be tearing up I think he's going to be tearing up the run game. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people in the league that are doubters of him. But at the end of the day, when you look at the way the NFL is like set up right now with the way the teams are, the Patriots look like they're mostly favored to go back AFC-wise. As far as the NFC, other than the Rams, like if the Rams don't go to the Super Bowl, everything that they did was for nothing because that team is like the Golden State Warriors of the NFL. So that's the only other team that scares me. I'm not scared by Seattle. I'm not scared by any of those other NFC teams. The Patriots, you always know you're going to have to go to Foxborough. Can you go to Foxborough and beat Tom Brady? Is Tom Brady going to be falling off at 41? All these things are going to be swirling around. Me, honestly, I think he has like another good year in him. Like I think he has this year and one more year. I don't think he's playing until 45. And that's just my opinion. I don't care about how flexible he is, pliability. I don't care what he's doing, eating broccoli, whatever he's doing. Bro, your body just starts to not be able to tolerate certain things. And I don't think that it's going to work out for him in the long run after maybe one more year. But I don't think he's going to fall off crazy. Even despite the way their team looks, I think they're going to end up coming out of the AFC. So all in all, with the beginning of this football season, right, when I looked at what was happening, I got to be honest about it. It still looked like regular football. I didn't like the penalty with roughing the passer when they said that the guy put his weight on the quarterback. What was that? That was on NICK Foles, I think, because they called it on the Falcons. I think that's what happened. But I didn't see that, bro. It looked like the guy let up, too. If I can remember correctly, I looked at the replay. It looked like he let up. We saw new things about the catching rule because I thought that tight end dropped that ball, but it's going to be a very, very interesting NFL season. But the one thing that I'm happy about is that I didn't feel like they were doing flag football. Like I saw some hard hits. There were no calls on it, which was good. Quarterbacks got sacked. Wide receivers got their bodies bent up. A lot of things happened. So I'm not really as concerned as I was before with all of these new rules that are going to be implemented. But I will tell you this, again, as we try to close out, the Falcons, their destiny is based on if they can score in the red zone. That is a high-powered offense. That is a team. Telvin Coleman and Devontae Freeman. Bro, who is this? Sarkisian? What is that? Who is that idiot? Look, let me just say this right now. People think that everybody's replaceable, and then you see that they lose their offensive coordinator, and you see that it's not. It's not the case. Because you can't tell me that was the same Falcons team that went to the Super Bowl. That offensive look, bro, he better figure something out, and he better figure out something fast. All right? But at the end of the day, Falcons fans, I know it hurts for me to tell you this, but I don't like them coming out of the NFC South. I don't like it. I think that the Saints and the Panthers are better. Ultimately, I think the Saints might come out simply because Drew Brees, I would take Drew Brees over Cam Newton as far as just being an overall quarterback. Because Cam Newton is going to make errant throws. He's going to do wild things. I got to go with the safer choice with Drew Brees. And I just think that they're right there, right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would go with. All right? As far as the Philadelphia Eagles, you guys have proven that your defense is ready. So all I'm waiting on is Carson Wentz. I would love to hear what you guys and girls have to say about what I thought about the first NFL game of the 2018 season. Be sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and share. And I'm going to see you guys next time. One love.